Hey guys, I'm not sure who all needs to hear this today, but I just wanted to remind everybody that not one of the greats that we all remember throughout history ever didn't piss people off. Not one of the greats wasn't misunderstood. Not one of the greats ever didn't experience adversity and feel defeated and feel like the world never understood them. That was part of their plan and part of their calling. They had a higher calling, which is why their path was ultimately much harder. They were forced to suffer fools endlessly that tested their patience, that wore them down, that made them not want to be alive on this planet too. So there's a lot of adversity in this world. I'm sensing it, and I'm not seeing it verbatim because we're all so contained, like I always say, in our little islands of misery, which is what they truly are. But just remember, all of those people were tested, and all of their character, they always passed the character test. So in order to pass the character test, you're going to have to be willing to not go along with their school of thought, their groupthink, the hive mind in this world. It changes at will for people. It does. Whenever you awaken and you stumble across something that enlightens you, your environment very well could attack you for it, so to speak. People will change at will, which should tell you that their allegiance doesn't lie in anything. It lies with whatever the path of least resistance is. But like I often say, the path of least resistance is what leads people straight into ultimate hellfire. So just remember, every day above ground, you're going to be tested by the world, but you're ultimately taking an otherworldly test that doesn't get explained to you, that you yourself have to believe in, because you can't expect other people to enlighten you as to what the truth is. The absolute truth of the matter, if it were to ever get divulged in its entirety, would absolutely devastate and ruin the world. And I think more and more we're going to get more clued into the truth. And there's those who just are going to be in the background, never wanting us to indulge anything truthful or relevant for all types of silly reasons and all types of very evil reasons. So remember, if you have conviction and character, you yourself may be putting yourself at a loss in some ways. But there's a reason why me and other people I view us as not of this world. We actually have character and morals, and the way of the world is guided by pure evil, hedonism, hubris, greed, jealousy, envy. It's all become very much like biblical times, and I don't need to point out the parallels to point out the common denominator there. But we are living through a time period that was imagined many years ago, thousands of years ago, in fact. And we are going through that time, and we need to look at the history and hopefully not repeat it, but I can't help but feel like most people won't learn. And all of these things that I and other people like me that share the same philosophy think, they just won't see our ideals or our values or our points until it is very personal for them and very real. I think we're all going through a spiritual battle, though many don't fight the good fight. They are just in the midst, and they are unfazed and uncaring, and they may not wake up until the end. So if you are awoken, consider it part of your mission on this earth to enlighten your fellow man in a way that maybe they'll grasp and understand. Use your linguistic skills in your way of words to help people, and be willing to say some unpopular things, perhaps, or things that will astound people, and maybe they don't get you, but maybe they do, and you've bridged the gap. I think that's our purpose on this earth. Otherwise, we're going through a meaningless shuffle that has very little value. We have to create the value and reach for it and access it and be willing to take a risk to maybe achieve it. Happiness is worth fighting for, and peace is certainly worth fighting for. So try to fight the good fight every day, you guys. And later on.